of bases, and the last time I scouted Zerg, he didn't have any hidden bases from the 6 o'clock or anything. So I feel that I'm in a good spot now that I can actually base race him. I try to warp in some sentries and force field the ramp toward my natural. And it doesn't work as intended. It slows him down a little bit. But in the same time that I'm attacking him, I'll try and make a base at the 1 o'clock. So I'm trying to just go for the heart here. I'm trying to take out all the hatcheries. I'm sending some zealots down to the 5 o'clock while getting my base out. Anything for warping now to slow him down, I will, but I don't have a lot of pylons. He keeps taking out my pylons and Nexus, so it's getting me down lower and lower supply, so I'm getting a little bit supply blocked here. My zealots don't scout anything at the 5 o'clock, so I'm going to regroup with my main army. And I see these overlords here. They might have picked up some drones or something, so I'm going to snipe them out quick. Also supply block him if I can. So if it was a base race and we're rebuilding our bases, he'll have to remake those overlords, just like I have to remake the pylons. I'll transfer all my probes at the high yield as much as I can. I'll get them. Trying to save their lives.
Trying to.
So I'll send them all to the 10 o'clock. I still have a Void Ray just chilling, I think. So I try to rebuild my main. And I figure, okay, I just cleared the Zerg. I'm not trying to go for that base race, kill every single building. I figured, okay, now I have the better army from the looks of it. All I have to do is defend my bases, and I should be in a better spot now. Because I still have 1 mining base, and I have 2 bases going up. So I blink forward, give my Colossus some cover. He's off creep, so the Hydras are slow. I'm getting some pot shots, getting some offensive blinks. He tries to attack me, get into the Guardian Shield, and I will crush his army here, and I will have the better time to reinforce if need be, because I still have my infrastructure. I still have some gateways and some tech in the top left at the 10 o'clock. I still have the Dark Templar patrolling. So with the Dark Templar at the Dunlog, I saw this counterattack trying to head up to my to the 12 o'clock over here. And since I was able to clean that up, and I had that second Nexus up, that fresh base that I could just transfer the probes from the 1 o'clock over, I'll be fine. And Zerg looking at Zerg's camera now, he didn't really have much left. He did have the 5 o'clock, he just put up the 6 o'clock. So we're technically, if we were to play out from here, I would say that I'm in the lead, because he has rebuilt his spawning pool and Roach Warren. Like I said, I still have some of my infrastructure up, I still have my gateways. I would need to rebuild my cybernetics core, but I still have a lot of my probes. If I look at the income tab, I have 30 probes, he only has 11. So I can have a lot higher income. 260 minerals for him, 740 for me, plus 208 gas for me as well. Plus I have my army still. So he would have to worry about the fact that I have higher probe count as well as a stronger army. So I have Dark Templar out, I still have Colossus out, a lot of Stalkers, healthy Stalker and Sentry count. I still have, from the game started really, I still have these 7 sentries that have been chilling out.
That was good reactions to everything. Worked out.
Interesting game here. Yeah,
I have a bad habit of actually overreacting when I get all in and hold it. I feel like I'm always in a worse position than I am. I'm kind of bad at estimating how much of an economic impact a Zerg would take from doing something like Unitas all in.
Right.
So
I figured he had cut, like I said, I saw the gas in the early game, so I figured he was going for an all-in. I didn't know which one it was. Further attempts to scout at that point was kind of nullified, so I just knew he was going to go for some all-in. Fortunately, he was able to do considerable damage, but I was able to stabilize. At that point, he wasn't really winning the game. He kind of was ahead because of the fact that he had to cut to make the attack and to go to base. We were even because of the fact that he didn't take a fast lair base. He put that money into fast lair, fast Nidus, and a lot of lings to attack me with. And I was able to save my probes, so he really only killed my Nexus, and a Stargate, and a couple pylons. It was a bit more of a nuisance than anything. And I was able mainly to stop his creep spread. The creep spread would have been annoying, because then I wouldn't be able to re-put up my base, which has happened in the past. I had to go for the all-ins. So by using my Void Ray as well as my probes to kill the queens quickly, I was able to stop any creep spread.
Mhm.
And it turned into a semi-normal macro game from there. So
you've seen, anyone watching this, you've basically seen exactly how not to do this, and a pretty good way of actually handling crises.
yeah, between doing drops or the Nidus itself, one thing I could have done if I didn't go for that base race, and again, what prompted me to go for that was the fact that I scouted him. I realized the fact that I have equal, if not more, bases than you, so that that means I should win this base race and come out ahead.
Mhm.
And we kind of saw that here. And with the fact that I also put up more bases, he also put up more bases too.
And another thing to consider is that, I mean, Zerg's army is, this is kind of technical, but it's designed to get concave. It has its best damage output if it can get some sort of concave. So, being Protoss, you're going to have a lot more buildings than Zerg does, which is going to sort of impede his movement, which as a result kind of lessens his army's damage output, which gives you another advantage in a base race like that. Because he's not using mutas or something this time, so
right.
He's not as mobile as he would be if he had done 60,000 mutas and you decided to base race him.
Exactly.
Don't do it, it's bad.
Yeah. So he was using slow hydras off creep and roaches.
I mean, you just had a huge mobility and DPS advantage in the situation you were in. So, that worked out well.
Yep. That would.
It's sort of like base racing with Broodlords. It doesn't work.
Right. Because Broodlords too slow. Or way too slow. And yeah, that kind of wraps up that one. So I guess moral of the story here: don't feel like you have to get that feeling if you see a lot of mutas swarm in there and kill a lot of probes or banshees or even Nidus hole in or anything that does damage. The player still has to sacrifice his economy to do something like that. That attack 1-on-1 even though they have mules, they still have to sacrifice maybe second command center, maybe all of their SCVs when they bring it along with their second attack, whatever the case may be. So they are taking an impact too. So as long as you can hold and still have a pretty much a surviving economy, like I still had a good amount of probes after that first attack, you can feel confident in your ability to still win the game. Alright. Let's see if we have any questions for these games, for these two. Looks like we don't have any. We only have one viewer. And I think it's directed towards you, Jshore.
Hmm? What?
Okay. I said that we don't have any questions, just one comment. It looks like it's directed toward you.
Oh,
But yeah, I think this wraps up some PvZ crisis control, what to do, and some things that we could do better. Like I said, one thing that I could have done better was try to get some more scouting around the map. Maybe I could have utilized the Phoenix a little bit more. I did get some prices scouting with him. I was able to scout his tack, scout the number of bases he had, so the Phoenix was kind of decent. Maybe I could have gotten an observer out of the robotics and scouted even more. Scouted to see maybe he's going for a Broodlord switch, or he's going for Ultralisk, or whatever the case may be, or he's going for another Nidus, or whatever it is. So that's my only thing I could have done better, I think, with that game. Aside from scouting and killing the Nidus before it happened, of course. Which is kind of tough on Shattered Temple. Your main base is huge. There's a lot of spaces that the Overlord can hide, like right behind your mineral line, to put the Nidus, because you can't see the Overlord right behind your mineral line. On top of that, those mountainous rocks. So it's easy for them to hide those Nidus. Plus, I don't really need that many pylons in the early game, so if I were to put a pylon in each spot, I'd kind of be losing money. So the only efficient way to look for the Nidus in the early game is to put a probe or something on patrol around the entire main, which would kind of, it's not as effective because it's got a long way to go. Plus, with the fact that I don't know what kind of all-in it is, I'll kind of look silly with a probe on patrol, losing income in the early game where it actually matters, and see a bunch of roaches and lings pour through my natural. So that's some logic there from my point of view. Alright, cool. Any further comments, Jshore?
Nope. I learned a lot and basically just got to insult myself quite a lot.
Oh,
It was-
some things to look at. Some things, maybe a couple more hotkeys usage during
Mhm.
crisis control. If once you see that amount of mutalisks, might prompt you to go ahead and split up those stalkers and sentries. Maybe drop a couple cannons. Maybe not get as much gas. Maybe. Watch that gas intake. But yeah, that's gonna wrap up, I believe, what is episode 4 of Into the Void Crisis Control, PvC style. We probably will have some more, maybe some Protoss versus Terran, Protoss versus Protoss examples of this in the future.
Honestly, I find that when, like, I don't know, PvT or Crisis Control is basically limited to drops, which after a while you get used to, and Spotter Pylons help with that. There's not as many odd things that can happen as with Zerg, because
Yeah.
Yeah.
Zerg can do a lot of weird stuff.
It's a lot of, there's a lot of possible stuff that could happen. So,
Same thing with PvP, I think.
and PvP, I mean, there will be that one time when they get DTs in your base, but after you get a cannon up, that threat's completely nullified and you don't have to worry about it anymore.
Right.
So, I mean, it just... PvZ, I think you have a lot more of it, just because of how the matchup works. It's insanely
Drops,
aggressive.
Mutas, Nidus, all
You're
of
always
these.
out of your base if you're playing it right, because you've
That's
got to
cool.
keep Zerg on the back foot. But while you're doing that, they can Nidus you, they can send in mutas, so...
Doom drops, whatever the case is.
Yeah, there's a lot of multitasking
Spine
to do in
crawler rush.
PvZ.
Yep, there's a lot of